So right now, Tyson is making $500,000 per month from your solar company. And yesterday we were going over your business model a little bit, and I asked if we could do a video on it. You said absolutely not. Why the hell would I tell people what I'm doing? Because when you're making real money, you don't want anyone else to know. And so right now, every internet guru online is promising to make you an extra $1 million or whatever they're promising. But people who are actually running real businesses with an edge don't want anyone to know.
Well, it's a good question. It's the same thing. Most of the people that get to a certain point, I don't know if they're meeting resistance and they can't expand their business. So a lot of people go into coaching, a lot of people go into training. So there's a lot of money in going into that type of thing. So guys like Case Morby, he'll show you like, oh, he's talking to the customer. He tells you how he talks to them. He tells you can do creative financing. You can get these properties for no money down. But he never really tells you. He never really, in my opinion, from what I've learned, he never shows you the content. He never shows you the secrets to what he's looking for, how he's identifying the property, how he's analyzing the deal. And realistically, that's where he's making the money or the spread. And why would you ever get your secret of that?
Yeah.
Because the whole point of capitalism is healthy competition. But if you have the niche, you found the edge, if you solve the problem first, there's no reason to ever tell anybody unless you've gotten to a point where you don't need to know. Like Elon Musk, right? He releases all of the patents, releases all of his information. What does he make then? Open source for all of his ideas because he knows that he's so far ahead.
There's also such a high barrier to entry.
Right.
Because the next step is going to be someone who already has a multi-billion-dollar company who's already ahead.
Right.
And with the solar space, if you started to tell everyone what you were doing, the market would be saturated because you're doing a very unique thing that is working very well right now.
Right.
But it might not work that well a few years from now. That's the same way it is with trading because I have a bunch of hedge fund buddies. What one of them in particular, what he would do is he would find some sort of arbitrage spread where he could make like 5 cents on the dollar for free. And so you exploit that as much as you humanly can until the spread starts to come down. And the reason why it would come down is because other people caught on to it. So the edge goes away.
Right.
And the key principle there is when you are making real money and when you have basically a real edge, you don't want anyone to know about it.
It's like anything. The margins are huge when you're the first to do something. As more people enter, there's always someone willing to do it for less money, and it's in every business on earth. The first people then make all the money, and then as it gets more saturated, people are willing to take less money because you're still making money, you're still net positive, right? And if you're one of the first people to do it, you make these huge spreads. By the time like private equity catches on, or any of these major investment groups like the car washes or the HVAC companies or all the things that they're going after right now, they just have to hit a 7% return or a 10% return to keep their customers and investors happy. So that's good for them. Right now, if I'm making 50% or 70%, I don't want to give that away. I want to do that for as long as I can until someone else catches up, and then maybe I'll sell training videos at that point. But at this point, no, I'm keeping them out of myself, and I'm selfish enough to sell. Sorry about you.
What you said yesterday was the reason why you guys have such a better business model is because you thought about this in a smarter way. What concepts did you use to start to think about this to come to this conclusion?
Well, our customer acquisition cost is super high, and there's a way that normal people have lead generation and get in front of the client and sell them. Yeah. We just essentially thought, how can I solve this problem in a creative way where we're not doing it in the traditional way? And I, without giving anything away, we figured out a way to do that for almost next to nothing. So the customer acquisition costs went from in the thousands of dollars to very, very low.
Yeah, and so when you have that, you basically have a legal printer, a legal money printer. All you need to do is get as many leads as possible because the cost to acquire the leads are so much lower than your competitors.
And it's the same thing in real estate. It's like the first people that did real skip tracing, or going through and finding someone who's behind on their credit card statements. Behind on your credit card statements, maybe you're behind on your mortgage. Try to access those people to buy their homes from them and get them out of underwater. There's all these different ways that people have identified problems in all the different fields. But I was originally from real estate, and those are the type of things you did to find homes. Originally people knocked on doors, people sent mailers, and then now people are using AI to generate leads and different things. But whatever you find out, how to do something. Keep to yourself for as long as possible, and then once the word gets out, then you can kind of share that information. But until it does, I want to be the only person doing what I'm doing.
So how do you actually discover something that no one else is doing? Or how do you make something better?
That's a good question. And I think a lot of people are just naturally creative, like yourself. It's the people that make processes better. It's like everyone's been doing this forever, and nobody really questions the process because it does work. It might be expensive to acquire a customer. It might be expensive to acquire a lead. There's a lot of ways to do it, but for example, like China right now. Used to be concrete work was super expensive because you had to transport the concrete all over the place. So now they got drones grabbing bags of concrete and flying them to the site to be mixed on site, and they reduced the concrete cost to almost nothing. It's just you need to innovate. You need to always be thinking about every process that you do. And if you're not consistently trying to analyze your business, what's working, what's not working, what's expensive, how to cut costs, how to make things more efficient, but that's not how your mind works, you're probably never going to be that successful.
Do you think that's a learnable skill or something you're born with?
You probably are born with it, but the main thing is, as long as you in your mindset, I think anything can be taught. Some people are going to pick things up faster than others. Right? There's different forms of intelligence. There's certain things you're going to be more gifted at naturally, but if every time I hear something, I question it. If you're not inquisitive, if you're not wondering why are things this way? Why am I being told this? Why does everything work the way it does? People that start to think that way, I think you're going to have obviously an advantage on how to solve a problem in a creative or more efficient way. Definitely a learnable skill.
Yeah.
You just have to have the mindset that I want to be better, and I want to be better every day, and I want to wake up tomorrow better than I was yesterday. And if you have that mindset in life, and you carry that energy in every day.
And I can tell you guys, Tyson just kicks ass at everything in life. I mean, that's what you do. Like, winners just win. They win at everything. Because it really is. When you go into every situation thinking you are the best and you're going to figure it out, it's quite hard to lose.
That's true, but I failed a million times. The thing that makes a winner is that when they lost, they didn't get discouraged and they woke up the next day and tried to win again. And the people that give up after failing are the people that don't win. It's not like I think I'm better. It's things that I'm going to outwork you. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to figure it out. And I'm unrelentless. I'm unrelenting. I'm relentless. So if you continue to just push, you become a winner because that's a mindset. But I don't,
So what was the biggest loss that you had?
Oh my goodness. There's been a lot. There's been multiple $1 million losses. There's been real estate deals that have been bad. There's been, COVID happened and, government impacted my ability to push things through or get engineering done. All the things you got to get through procedurally to get certain things approved, design concepts approved. There's been a lot in my life. I could go on and on and on.
Yeah. If this is too personal, I can cut it out the video. But you had a deal recently in real estate that was costing you $40,000 per month out of your pocket. But again, you thought of a creative solution to where you were no longer out $40,000 per month without going into what that creative solution was.
I can talk about that one.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
Okay.
But I live in Oregon. Pre-COVID, bought a house on 10 acres. I was going to subdivide the bottom 4 acres into an 18-unit subdivision. I spent 6 months in pre-approval with the city before I bought the house in due diligence. And then COVID happened. A lot of people were tired. Everyone was working from home. There was no oversight from the city to approve all of my plans, my engineering documents, etc. So I spent millions of dollars getting the plan approved. And just kind of a perfect storm of rates are high. People had, all the other developers realized that the city was going to, instead of taking 6 to 9 months, it took 36 months to get a simple plan approved with existing, road infrastructure. And, I had a bunch of deals to buy the lots from local developers, paper lots. Just basically, here's your paper, go build them, do the infrastructure. And now with rates the way they are and the carrying costs, they wanted to be shovel ready. So that interest payment, I prepaid for 15 months of interest. And, I can shorten this if you want, but I prepaid all this money for interest. And then after 15 months, I started making interest payments. It was about $40,000 a month. So I made that for about 24 months, and I should have been much smarter to solve the problem. As soon as I had to start making the first interest payment, I should have solved the problem.
I remember because we were traveling together probably a year and a half ago, and you were saying, dude, I'm dumping 40 grand a month right now on this deal. What the hell am I going to do?
And it was all interest.
And that was a year ago.
Zero benefit, all interest, straight to the bank.
Yeah.
And what was a private lender? But essentially, this wasn't going to go anywhere because the infrastructure cost was about $3 million to develop the lots and get them shovel ready to where you can sell it off to individual builders. When you have 18 lots and the developer has to develop it out in Portland, there's maybe 10 to 12 people that can carry all that infrastructure cost, build that out, and get it ready. Well, most builders want to be able to control how they develop the lots, how they design the homes, how the lots are laid out, etc. So it was an easy 6 to 9 months. I was going to make $6 million if I sold the house, or if I sold the lots, I was going to get the house for free. And originally I intended to live there, but we all know what happened to Portland. Not a lot of people that are successful want to live there for a multitude of reasons. And so what I did is essentially I called the lender and said, hey, I'm not going to be able to continue to make these payments. I need you to come in as a partner and convert my debt to equity, my debt position to an equity position, and partner with me to finish the infrastructure. So now we're working together to build the lots out. So instead of having 10 to 12 developer customers, now we're going to have hundreds of individual builders that can buy one lot at a time. You can't parcel the lots off individually until you do the infrastructure. So instead of paying I'm going to pick up 40 grand a month because now I have a partner in the deal who's going to finance it, and I'm not bleeding that amount of money, which $40,000, regardless of who you are, it's not a fun payment.
It's not fun at all. Yeah, that is not pleasant. But that's, again, just thinking of a creative solution to a problem.
And like you said, you wake up and want to win every day. Well, if I was smart, I would have figured this out 12 months ago and saved myself, $500,000 in interest.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get it all the way through to completion. I wanted to show the lender that, hey, I've been trying to sell it. I've been trying to parcel this off. And because of the situation, because of rates, because of the city, because all the things that are the perfect storm with all the mess, I wasn't able to get it off. And I wasn't going to sell it for a loss. So I probably won't make a lot of money on this deal, but I probably won't lose any.
You won't lose 40 grand a month anymore.
And it might be 2 years. It might be 14 months or 2 years before I actually get paid out, but I will at least get all my investment back. And I don't necessarily need the money, but it'll be a nice, check at the end. I'll get a bunch of money back, and hopefully I'll convert it into another successful enterprise. But again, that was on paper the best deal I've ever seen for me personally. And then it's turned into maybe I'll get my money back, but I'm not upset. I'm not, I lost all this money. I'm like, well, they print money every day. There's always more money coming. The government just prints and prints and prints. You just got to figure out how to access it. You just got to figure out how to access it. As long as you have that mindset, I don't think you can really lose.